Before coming to Europe, a lot of people were saying crazy things about Europeans, Italians, everything. But I'm here to tell you that a lot of that isn't true. So, one second.
Hey, hi, hello, what? We're back. Oh man, guys, I loved Italy. I loved Europe, but I loved Italy. Like, it was so amazing. Couple things I am here to tell you about. If this is your first time going to Italy, this is your first time going to Europe, let me just like debunk a couple things, because I feel like I saw so many things on Instagram that were saying that Italians were a certain way or Europeans were a certain way, and in actuality they totally weren't. So I made a list and I'm gonna talk to you about them right now. The first one is Italians don't speak English. Okay, so I guess this is basically just an Italian blog because Europe is so big. So Italian blog. That Italians don't speak English. They totally speak English. They also understand everything. I was so stressed. I was learning Italian for like a month before coming. Like, I was practicing every day. Like, I thought I was only gonna have to speak Italian. They speak English. It was so crazy. And even if they had a hard time with some of the words, like, you could figure it out. And like, I mean, the only thing I really had to figure out was the iced coffee situation. Even then, like, you could still get iced coffee and say it. It was like a cafe latte freddo, but that is just a cold coffee. It's not a coffee with ice. So you do have to specify that. But generally, like, I don't know, like, they would know right away. Or a cafe latte americano, that would basically be cafe latte americano freddo, I think, is like an iced coffee, blah, blah, blah. They understand, like, they get it if you're American, you know? So that was kind of the only thing. Everything else is like ciao, grazie, like, it was so easy. I don't know, people were really weird about that, but I'm debunking that right now. Also, nobody looks at you weird if you order an iced coffee or have a cold coffee. Like, Europe during the summer is hot as hell. Like, you should be drinking cold drinks. Like, don't be drinking a hot drink. That just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I saw on Instagram, like, oh, Europeans, Italians, they're gonna criticize you and give you dirtiest. Like, no, they definitely don't. They do not care what you drink. Like, that was so weird. Like, I can't believe there's a lot. So I guess that was like 1 and 2. But so the third one would be clothes. I know people like feel like you have to buy a bunch of new clothes and go all out. Let me tell you, I spent around $1,500 on new clothes. I bought jeans, I bought linens, I bought button-down shirts, I bought this, I bought that. I bought so much. And in the end, I left it all there because I would never wear that here because it's just not my color palette. I looked great in it because the colors worked with me well, but just in LA, it's not like that. You can get away with just tank tops and shorts, like, if you don't care about pictures. Like, I kid you not, like, you're not gonna post more than one picture in the same place. It just doesn't make sense. And you're not just gonna take the entire vacation to take pictures everywhere you want. Unless you're like some crazy influencer. But you know, one of my best friends is an influencer and we just took pictures at random spots. So like, we didn't really have to worry about it. So it was kind of like, you really don't need to buy a bunch of clothes. And I kind of regret buying all the clothes I did because, like, I barely wore them. A lot of them, like, the tags are still on them, and I got rid of them and I gave them to my friend who I met there because I didn't want to like carry them on. And I also bought like more cool stuff. I'm a very big staple person, like staple piece person. So yeah, don't go all out and buy new clothes. Tank tops, shorts, like, it's too hot to layer. It's too hot to wear a tank top and like a button down. Like, it's insane. And linen pants, sure, I probably wore them once, one night only, and I didn't touch them after that because it's way too hot. I wore shorts, and you can legit wear shorts to any place for dinner. Just dress it up nicely, you know what I'm saying? I mean, wear those linen pants to dinners, but like, if you go around to the restaurants, everybody's wearing summer clothes. Nobody's wearing all dressed up dress pants, like dress shirts. Nobody's dressed like that. Like, you'll get every so often, but they know it's summer. Like, you don't have to abide by the whole let's look nice all the time type of thing. This is the fourth one, that Europe is so expensive. Okay, Europe isn't expensive. I think the only thing is when you go in blindly and not understanding how it works, it can be. Like, I ran through a lot of money because I was figuring out on my own too. So I think the traveling was the most expensive part, but food and coffees and everything else, so inexpensive. Coffee was like 1 to 2 euros. Like, that's insane. That was beautiful. And then food, like, you can buy a meal that would last 2 to 3 days for like 12 euros. Like, that's insane. You know, you buy a loaf of bread here in LA for $10. Yeah, it's crazy. So that was one thing that I was like, Europe is expensive traveling there. The tickets are crazy, like that's expensive, but everything else like relatively inexpensive. You could probably do a decent Europe trip for at least $5,000. And I know you're like, $5,000 is a lot, but just take a note of like 1,500, 2,500, 2,000 for, you know, your flights, and then boom, after that, go to the grocery store, buy the food there, and then buy, you know, the coffees there. I don't know if this is like out of tune, but it's like, if you want to save up for something, this is what you can try and save up for. And I just think it's pretty doable, honestly. And I kind of went on a whim there too. So there's that part. So 5th, pickpocketers. I didn't run into any of them, but I was in a group of 8. We all had bags on us. Like, we dressed relatively nice. You would think we'd be like, I guess they probably don't pickpocket that. They probably pick a pocket. They probably pickpocket just, I guess, naive tourists. I'm not really sure, but I didn't even witness any. And when we were in Rome, and that's where they said they were the most, like, we were at we went to the Colosseum, but didn't see any pickpockets there. We went to one of the cathedrals, didn't see any there. We were at the Trevi Fountain, didn't see any there either. So I don't really know where they were. I didn't see any, didn't really have any issues. I was like on guard, obviously. Like, my bag was zipped up, everything was faced towards me. My phone was never in my pocket, of course. I was just staying on top of it. But yeah, I don't know. People say they're so crazy, but I didn't see anything. Maybe it's more in Paris, but yeah, truly, I didn't see anything in Europe. Attenzione, pickpocket! One thing I wish I kind of did more, and at the end I did a lot, I rode a lot of the scooters there. Not the mopeds. So they call mopeds the regular scooters, and then they call bikes the mopeds. So I mean the scooters where you're standing and riding around. I rode that all around one of the cities, and it was so nice. I got to see so much so quickly. Also the mopeds, I think the mopeds are really great. I think you should guys, I think you guys should do the mopeds as well. I think that's really fun. But no, genuinely, like the scooters, super easy. Grab them, go around the town, see everything. Like, we got to so many places so fast. Of course, there's gonna be cobblestone, so just be really cautious, because you're like, but like, it was, regardless of what it was, I wish I did it more, because I would have seen a lot more, and faster too. And it was fun. You just gotta be careful, but it was fun. Like, I loved it. Let's see, another thing, my recommendation. So obviously, like I said this in my last vlog, but we were in the city mainly. I realized I'm not a big city person, and I live in a city, so what's the point of going to a city? So huge recs to always be by a beach, or just make sure you're taking at least 5 days out of this 2-week trip, at least a week by the beach or by the waters. The sea is beautiful. During summer, it's stunning. I mean, the water is a bit warm, but regardless if it's warm or not, it's just nice to be by water, and the sea is so good for your skin. I seriously came back like, no, I realized we only spent 3 days in those 2 weeks by the water, and I was like, what? So that's why I extended my trip at least a week and a half. So huge recommendation, go up and down the Italian coast, north and south. There were some great spots there. I went to Cinque Terre, that was beautiful. 5 little villages, you get to see just, I don't know, I guess what life is like there. It's super residential, it's so pretty. You see Nana and Nonas everywhere, you know. It was nice to be there and just get involved. But also, of course, you are a tourist, so be super respectful and don't be crazy, and, you know, just try to enjoy yourself. Of course, you're also helping them, because you're replenishing the town with money, and I think that's really important. So aside from Cinque Terre, there is you know, north and south of those villages. So I loved La Spezia. That was really cool too. It was a little town, Nova, I believe it was called, or Genoa, one of the two. Oh, a guy's feeding a squirrel. Oh, that's so nice of him. He's feeding a squirrel. So Genova, I flew out of Genova, is really pretty too. Oh, Portovenere, that one is beautiful. I only walked it for like a second. I was supposed to stay there, but I ended up staying in La Spezia. It was so nice, and I wish I would have stayed there, but I also want to go back to visit it just to see it. My trip, my plan next year is to go all through the coast. I'm gonna go north and south of Italy. Like, I want to go everywhere. I also want to hit France, so I want to hit Nice, I want to hit Paris, I want to come back down, I want to hit Greece, Mykonos, I want to go to Capri. There's so many places. Sardinia, I want to go to so many places, and probably Sicily too. I want to do a lot next summer, so I'm planning that out now and now that I know how the travel works, the plane works, like, it makes sense, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. It's so beautiful, and it's so nice, and that is so worth saving up for every summer. Let me tell you, it's so worth saving up for. I truly came back and I was just like, I love it, I want to go back. I'm still like, I think about it and just how much I miss it, and I loved it. And I just think it was mainly the thing about being by the water. I'm not really by the water here, so yeah. 3 more towns I wanted to talk about. So Levanto was a small little town. I think it was north of Cinque Terre. I loved it. It was perfect. It was the cutest little town. They had a city center. Around the center, they had a band come. I think it was just a special weekend. I'm not really sure, but maybe because I was there. I don't know. But it was really nice to have that band there. We sat there. Well, I was by myself at that point. I sat there. I had gelato. Like, it was really cool. I woke up every morning. I got a fruit smoothie, and then I walked around, and then I went and had croissants, and then I had it was so cool. It was so nice. But I really liked that one, and I would absolutely take like family there, my mom there. It was a lot of families, and I thought that was really sweet. So Rio Maggiore, I loved Rio Maggiore. That was just so beautiful. Like, I have pictures from it, and I just look at those pictures and I'm like, how is that even real? It is beautiful, and the food obviously is just amazing there. So it's very small though, really, really, really small. I recommend staying there as well. That's a great spot. La Matarola? I don't remember which one it is. It's one of them, but it was beautiful. I believe that was my last day there, so I was swimming. Actually, I think the beginning of this video is that's where it's at. I was just on the rocks. I was on the jetties, and I was just laying there and hit the water and swam a little bit and just dried off and just had a cigarette. Oh, it was so beautiful. It was so nice. I loved it so much. So yeah, definitely recommend. So just to trickle back down, you know, don't worry about not speaking full Italian. Everyone speaks English there. You don't really run into any issues. You don't need to buy a bunch of new clothes all the time. Like, you don't need to buy a bunch of new clothes to go to Europe. What you have in your closet is probably good, and like shorts, that's all. Like, just, you'll probably wear the same thing mostly. That's what I did, and I still loved it. Like, it was so easy. Don't trip about drinking coffees or iced coffee in the summer there. It's summer. No one expects you to drink a hot coffee. Like, you can get a chilled coffee too, so no stress. No one's gonna look at you weird. The food is pretty inexpensive. Best quality ever. I came back with like a full-fledged 6-pack. Like, it was beautiful. I was like, this food's amazing. I wish I could just eat it here, but America. Obviously, the travel to Europe is expensive, but in Europe, if you figure it out, it's right. Said like it's worth it in the end. So save. I just think I just wanted to kind of like go over and debunk it, because a lot of people on Instagram were just saying so many like weird things about it, and it's just not true. Like, it was so much more relaxed, and you don't have to go with tension and stress about, you know, offending Italians. Just go there. They know you're on vacation. They know you're a tourist. They know like you don't live here. They're understandable. As long as you're respectful towards them, they'll be respectful towards you. So that was a quick little debunk. I hope this helps whoever. I will list them down at the bottom too in like the description and show you like what I just said. That way, if you don't want to go through this entire video, thanks for coming to the end of this video. Again, save up for Europe, go to Italy, go to the coast, hit Rome in one day. You can, because I did it on a scooter. Hit Rome in one day, hit anything else, like any of the cities in one day if you really don't want to be there. That's just my recommendation. If you're going on vacation, be by water. You know, that's what you gotta do. So anyway, guys, I will see you guys on the next one, and hey, happy Euro summers. Boom, 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 boom.